Out there talking shit Tuesday coming at you. We're going to talk today about the real reason that Ford is not selling Mustangs. And I have a couple of things to talk about. There has been a lot of chirping online where other influencers or attempted influencers are saying that the issue with the Mustang is the price. And I'm going to tell you guys that it's not the price. It is not the price, and I'm going to explain to you why it is not the price. If the vehicle is badass, it sells regardless of the price. We're going to give you some examples of modern vehicles that are pricey and selling extremely well. We're going to give you examples of past Mustangs that are pricey and they sold really well back in the day. Also, we'll talk about why cars blow up in the wintertime specifically. Of course, I tune for a living, 8 to 4:30 for Lund Racing. And I'm noticing a lot of guys are blowing up their motors. Literally, hey, my car blew up yesterday. So then when you look at the data log, you start seeing some telltale signs of why the car might have blown up. And it has a lot to do with this time of year. We'll talk about that and many more things, but not before Mr. Bill O'Reilly tells us to do it live.
We'll do it live.
Okay. No.
We'll do it live. Fuck it. Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live. Fucking thing sucks.
It sucks. But you know what doesn't suck? Of course it's PMAS. PMAS. Nick James and PMAS. The best cold air intakes, mass sensors, couplers, turbo guards, screens for stock cold air intakes. There is no other intake, cold air intake, you should consider if you have a Mustang, unless it's made by PMAS. That's Nick James and PMAS. DNF Performance, DNFperformance.com. If you're going to buy any parts at all, injectors, fuel systems, wheels, tires, anything at all. Hell, trick flow, twisted wedge heads, B303 cams, scorpion rockers, tornado throttle body spacers. DNFperformance.com is where you're going to go. Spend $1,000, get a free cup. If not, buy a $1,000 cup, get free parts. PartsMart.com, the online used car parts place you want to go to if you want to get cranker pallets, wheels, tires, rolling chassis, you name it, everything, transmissions, pedals, harnesses. Toyota Solution, Remington on Toyota Solution, the only shop you should consider at all if you live in Puerto Rico. And we all know that you're not going to get your car worked on unless you sell some yayo. And of course, Bellac is Caleb backwards, Bellac Wheels, to let everyone know that you sell drugs. So if you're a Puerto Rican that wants their car worked on at Rami's place, he's not going to take you seriously unless you show up with Bellac Wheels on your shit. And as always, we're going to thank richprince.com /YDBT. You're going to get your hats, you're going to get your shirts, you're going to get your hoodies, you're going to get your flat brim cholo shit there. You're going to get your YDBT vertical font, YDBT Emery, and YDBT Emery and Dolo. I think we got Dolo shit in there. Exactly, Dolo stuff in there. And then you got I can't believe you got Dolo sweaters. I gotta buy some before the weather gets a little warmer here. We'll say hi to the people here, and then we'll get to talking about what I think it's the real reason behind the Mustang's lack of sales. Andy Elite, Phil Fez, Monty 540, Diego, Cornfed Cow, Nick Dixon, Matt Oliver, John Bonanno, B. Lavesh, D-Rock Fox, El Verga, Larga, Z303, Camzilla, Frank Donahue, Douchetown, Wesley Stewart, Mark Christensen, Douchetown, Joe Jackson, Rich, Anthony, D-Rock Fox, Anthony again, Valley 10 Speed, Mike S, Travis, 2 J's and 50s? 2 J's and 50s or 5 O's? El Verga, Paul Ponthieu, Clean 93 GT, I'm Hung Solo. We got Paul Ponthieu again, I'm Hung Solo again, Phil Fez again, Sixsuki. The other day I said an artist was Sixsuki, and it was Sukihana. For whatever reason, I had Sixsuki on my mind. 101 RTR, Anthony Rafferty, Clint Stroke, 5-Way Josh, Robo Style, Joe Swish, CJM, SBE, Dylon, the best rapper ever, because the top 5 rappers of all time are Dylon, and finally, Dylon. Tay Speaks, EPA Boosted, Bryson Witt, Sam Morales. EPA, don't send me cookies no more. Fuck me, I ate them all. They're all gone. They're too good. That's domygodcookies.com. Bryson Witt, South Detroit Entertainment. JD Swag from India. Holy shit. How do you have internet in India? Caleb Cox, Ken Phillips, Grant Wimber, Pegalos from Canada. It's a dud. El Verga Larga. Amir's are here. Grant Wimber, Ray Williams, RPG GT, JMCG, All Things Boost, Chip, Carlos, OEM, Abel, SVT, William, Brian, Andrew, 508 Josh, Donkey, Merca Supreme, Yusuf, Jim Naisim. Holy shit, these names are fucking retarded. Albir, oh my god, Almirpe, Atticus Tim, DJ Lux, and Peter Chow. Now, I'm going to show you an article why I think you guys think that because the Mustang, the dark horse specifically, is almost $70,000, a fully loaded GT is in the 60s, and an entry-level GT is in the high 40s, low 50s, that it is priced too high. When you factor in inflation, it's really not that high. But wouldn't you think that because the price being so high, if people, okay, if let's just say your argument is correct, that the 24 Mustang is priced too high. Well, Ford says, fuck your mother, because they literally say that the Mustang is priced absolutely correctly. We're going to go to the Motor One article right here. It says, Ford says Mustang is priced right despite record low sales. So Ford was the only automaker to reveal new product at the 25 Detroit Auto Show. Mustang GTD Spirit, who cares? That prompted us to ask Ford about Mustang pricing at the show. It's no secret the sales are down. Last year was the worst year in the Mustang 60-year history, but Mustang brand manager Joe Bellino doesn't think the prices are an issue. We're in the sweet spot, he said. We're pointing out that very few options are left for a front-engine, two-door sports car turning the rear wheels. BMW enters the chat. Bellino isn't wrong. The Nissan Z, Toyota Supra are in the mix, but neither have a back seat. It's the same situation with the Miata. If you want a 2+2 and a V8 that requires stepping up to a six-figure, Lexus, no, dickhead. This guy totally. Oh, V8, that's what they have. V8 is what the rub is. Honestly, those guys don't give a fuck no more when you got twin-turbo straight sixes. The combustion-powered Dodge Charger returns later this year, bringing a healthy power to two-door with a back seat, but it is considerably larger than a Mustang without a V8. Remains to be seen whether buyers will respond. In Ford's defense, the current Mustang's price is in line for from those 30 years ago. Accounting for inflation, a 95 GT Coupe with standard equipment started around $21,500. That equals approximately $46,000 today, a bit less than the 25 Mustang's GT starting price of $47,055. Guys, it is not the price. It's the lack of tuning support. Guys, it is lack of tuning support. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. Why, in God's name, if a new platform comes out with two throttle bodies and it's the first year, they lock the computer down heavy. Prices are commensurate with inflation, inflation comparisons back in the 90s and early 2000s. The prices are where they should be according to inflation for a similarly equipped GT. So why didn't it sell? All these other guys will tell you price and interest rates. No. And this is why I say that. Plain and simple, clear as day, BMW sold over 206,000 cars in BMW M. Just M shit sold over 206,000 cars in 2024, and its bestseller was an EV. BMW's M Performance brand had its best year ever in 2024. New figures show far from being a tiny cog in BMW's success, M is now a key component. Its cars are accounting for 9.4% of all BMWs sold in the 12 months just gone. M pushed past the 200,000 unit mark last year for the first time in its history, delivering 202,530 cars, and improved on that in 2024 by doing 206 and 582 registrations, a 2% increase year over year. You might be surprised or even disappointed to learn that most popular car was the EV. Yep, the best-selling M car was the all-electric i4 M5 M50, four-door coupe equipped with 537 horsepower, bi-motor drivetrain that gets it to 60 in 3.7 seconds. The good news for more hardcore M fans is that the brand's true M cars experience massive growth, ensuring they'll be with us for a while to come. And we don't just mean the true M cars because they're powered with combustion engines. BMW itself makes a distinction between M performance models like the 340i, M60i, i4, M50, and what it calls its high performance M models, M2, M3, M5. The M2 helped, no doubt, by a recent power bump to 453 horsepower, from 453 to 473 horsepower, enjoyed, listen up, assholes, enjoyed a 64% sales lift. There's your Mustang. There it is. There are your Mustang sales right there in your fucking face. What is this thing over here? What is this advertisement over here? What's happening? It's like a cod piece. Anyway, In total sales, the high performance cars were up 8% to 66,805 versus a more modest 4% uptick for M overall. And we wouldn't be surprised to see the numbers improve even more in 2025 when the new hybrid M5 and M5 Touring start to arrive in dealerships. Even the M car fans love to hate. The XM had a good year, according to BMW, whatever. Last year reported that in its first full year in the sales, who cares about the XM? So, guess what, assholes? I was right again. That the Mustang lost sales to cars that were, and again, this is what you guys need to understand. When I say tunable, it does not mean tunable right from the factory. A lot of you guys go, well, BMW is not tunable. You got to send the computer to Russia and back. Okay, once that's done, asshole, it can be tuned. The Mustang cannot be, the Mustang computer, as of, January 14th, 2025, cannot be shipped off anywhere to be unlocked for anything so that the tune can be adjusted on it. Period. End of sentence. BMWs are tunable. And are they cheap? Fuck no. Fuck no. They're expensive. But Alex, the Mustang didn't sell because it was expensive. Guess what was a Mustang, was expensive, and sold like hotcakes? GT500s sold like hotcakes. Shelby GT350s sold like hotcakes. GT350s back in 2019 and 2020 started at $61,000. 2020 money, not 2024 money. That'd be like $75,000 now or something stupid. So those cars sold. There are no leftover GT350s anywhere. They all fucking sold. Find me. Go ahead. Find me a brand new, never sold 2020, 19, 18, 17, or even 16 GT350. You'd be hard pressed. And those cars were very expensive. So everyone that tells you that the Mustang is not selling because of high prices, high interest rates is full of shit. The car is not selling because you can't modify it except for one power adder that apparently the public does not want. I'm sorry. Whipple could say all it wants. The sheer fact that you have to buy a $60,000 car and then a $12,000 supercharger, and then you're stuck with Predator 55-pound injectors, you're stuck with their tuning, and you're stuck with their performance metrics. You cannot modify it at all. You can't call Whipple and say, hey, I have a return style fuel system, ID 1050Xs, make me a tune for that. No, because they fall under the EPA bullshit CARB EO umbrella. So stop telling people that the Mustang is not selling because of the price. M2, M3, M5, M4, I think there's an M4, I don't know shit, apparently are very expensive and had their best sales ever, M-Class, in 2024, the same year that Mustang introduced the first untunable Mustang ever. Please, guys, I love you. When I say stuff, it comes with an insane amount of data. You guys think that because the 2024 Mustang is not tunable, that Lund Racing doesn't see data logs, that Lund Racing doesn't get inside information, that people like me don't know what's actually happened with this car. The cars, I have so many followers that are techs or salespeople for dealerships, and they're like, Alex, the car is not moving. The cars sit on the lot. They are not moving. Nobody is buying them. Nobody wants them. It used to be a high turnover rate. Now you barely can get them off the lot. So there's going to be a bit of a panic button going to set in pretty soon when they start noticing, just like with the Mach-E. Remember, the Mach-E did not sell. Nobody wanted them. What did Ford do? They slashed the prices hardcore. I still don't think that'll help. Even if Ford drops the price $7,000, I don't think people will buy them if they can't tune it. Now, let's say right now they don't change the price, right? 2025, they don't change the price. If tomorrow one of their sales reps or one of their higher ups says, by the way, the calibration is unlocked on there, the 2025 calibration can be unlocked if you unlock the computer, meaning checksumming and all that stuff will be fine. Trust me, it'll sell at least 10,000 more units. At least in 2025, 10,000 more units if it is tunable. Now, a lot of people say, Alex, they're working in the EPA sandbox. Well, tell me why BMWs are able to be tuned. Explain to me like I'm fucking retarded that I can take a BMW computer from an M2, M3, M4, M5 and ship it off to fucking Singapore or wherever the hell. They unlock it. And then there are tuners in America that can calibrate the vehicle, and we can go back and forth, put on a lab coat, measure E50, and run 9s with downpipes and transmission tuning. Please stop the bullshit saying that the price is killing the Mustang. The lack of tuning and because the Mustang is a blank canvas. See, Ford thought that they would offer you more color options, caliper options, louvers, dark pony themes, and bullshit. Nobody cared. Nobody cared. All of a sudden, they start saying, hey, by the way, we're going to let you tune it. Trust me, 10,000 units will sell. Do you believe me? Full of shit. Are you starting to look at BMW? Because goddamn it, a brand new car that you can tune right now with good transmission tuning, a built transmission, downpipe hero, and E50 can run 9s in an all-wheel drive car, or a stick shift M2 rear-wheel drive. Tuning available right now can get after it ASAP without having to worry about being locked to one person's tune. Pick any platform you want. Dodge, Chevy, whatever. If they only had one option, less of those cars would sell. If Camaro came out tomorrow and they said, well, the only tune you can get is a Lingenfelter tune, people would go, I'm good. I want to go to LMP. I want to go to, this guy, that guy, FHP, whatever. All these people that, modify them, race, and have proven track records on making Chevy stuff fast. If they said, well, Lingenfelter is the only one that allows, proper tuning, people are going to go, I'm good. I'll just stick with an OCTS, CT5, ZL1, or whatever. We'll talk about it. Do you think that the reason the Mustang is not selling is the price or the lack of tuning, based on what I just told you? All these hotcakes got me hungry, just pushing people into EVs. You're right, it's tuning. I think it's the price. How is Ford not doing anything about this? Micro One, that's right. Why are they so stubborn? Phoenix, NFA says, when your brand manager publicly says everything is fine and your car is bolted to the showroom floor, you gotta change something. My best friend works at a Ford dealership in Massachusetts. They sold 2 Mustang last quarter, 2024. It's sad. King Dante says, I don't know a lot about tuning yet, but even though tuning is locked on 24 plus, are the standalone ECUs an option? No. Think about it. Do some hard thinking. You're going to wire in a Holly on these things? Okay, standalone ECU, right? Okay, so your body control module, gone. Your sync system, gone. Your factory tablets displaying stuff, gone. It is now a shell that you got Holley, Fuel Tech. You can physically make any engine run in any chassis, sure. But god damn it, can you even turn your air conditioning on? Holley, it's literally race car shit or old car shit. The new stuff like Motec, they don't even have I don't even think they have Gen 4 stuff figured out. Like Gen 3 stuff maybe? But one computer, I think it's $5,000, right? Isn't the computer like a Motec $5,000? And then VIT has to sit there and make the firmware for it, hammer it out. I haven't seen a lot of Gen 3 Mustangs with Motec. Have you? I haven't seen a lot of Gen 3 Mustangs with Motec plug and play situation. So when people say, is standalone an option? What the fuck do you mean? Do you mean an option for tuning? Sure, you can make the engine run, but then all your body control module shit does not work. Now let's talk about why cars blow up this time of year. Then we'll get to talking to the people. So if you're close on fueling, what does that mean? Let's say you have a 10 PSI ESS car with a G3X and it has a 120 millimeter pulley. In the summertime, 70 degrees or so, you've gone watt with it. Boosted pump, Predator injectors, and the thing seems to be running great. Then all of a sudden wintertime comes around and your car feels really fucking good. But then the weather gets as cold as the 20s. The 20s. That's right. Your car is now seeing air that it will never see ever again. So dense, so cold. Guys, I have seen readings come across my ticket system of IATs in the 30s. And I go, what? Wait. Come on, let's have a conversation here. Did you just go watt 60 to 130 in 25 degree weather? He's like, how'd you know? I go, because by the time the sensor reads 30, that means the air had to have been sucked in by the ESS, compressed, heated up, and it only heated up 5 degrees. That is astronomically cold. Your 120 millimeter pulley that was making 10 psi in, let's say, I don't know, 500 or plus 1000 or plus 2000 DA, now it's negative 1500, negative 2000. And all of a sudden, that boost number, or let's just say it is just so dense that this thing is just has gobs of air available to it. So now, when you were about, let's just say, 70% good on fueling with the BAP and Predator injectors, now that sucker is way lean because you have killer IAT, dense air, boost weather, and what happens when you have a bunch of boost weather and not enough headroom to supply proper fueling. Jake went to the track not too long ago and it was a little on the warm side. The car went 8.8, no problem. Went back to the track. All he did was install exhaust and it was an 8.7 car, but fuel trims were spiking. So either the pumps were on the edge of being able to supply enough fuel, or because he went on a negative 1500 DA, the car said, I'm sorry, there's just so much air available. The pumps that are in the car right now were like at the cusp of being able to supply proper fuel. Once I saw another negative 1500 DA as opposed to plus 500 DA, the car started trimming in a bunch of fuel and he had a lean issue. Guys, understand this. When you have a car that has very limited fueling, meaning you don't have a dual pump setup, I urge you guys to get back on pump gas. I really urge you guys to get back on pump gas, even if you have a triple pump or a dual pump. The amount of power that you can make during quote unquote boost weather is probably a little too good. If you have a boosted pump car, guys, there is no reason to go racing in 20-degree weather unless you're okay potentially popping your motor. You're not monitoring fuel pressure. You're not monitoring AFR. You're not monitoring fuel trims. You're just saying, this feels amazing. Oh shit, there's a little oil in the cap. No big deal. Oh no, that oil in the cap means a ring land busted. Well, what would that be? Well, you're on 93 octane. You're seeing over 12 or 13 PSI, or the density of the air, it's just a lot more available and the car is super happy, but you didn't have enough fuel to cover the air coming in. Most cars, and I say it probably every time this year, pop around this time of year when they have inadequate fueling. Yes, it feels amazing, but that doesn't mean you should go out there doing watt hits. In 20-degree weather, what the fuck are we doing? It's fucking 9 degrees here. I haven't moved my car in 2 days. Yeah, Frankie Munoz and the WCO RTR will make the sales surge. Drop a like, we'll catch later. D-Mart has nothing to do with price or tuning, says Cat Killer. You're wrong. You're wrong. You're 100% wrong, Cat Killer, because they will absolutely, if it's worth it, Cat Killer, it'll sell. Tell me why GT350 sold like hotcakes at $68,000. Tell me why GT500s sold like hotcakes at $100,000. Because tuning was available immediately and you were able to fucks with the car. This car has not sold because it is not tunable. It is not the price. It is not the interest rate. If the car is badass and tunable, it will get sold. Look at BMW. Tell me why tell me the same people are buying BMWs, Cat Killer. Your logic fails you at BMW because those cars had record sales this year. The DA heroes will be happy at negative 4,500 DA here. Lack of tuning, lack of style, lack of some person, dare I say, influencer. With a fast S650, people want to see turbos, flames coming out the hood, and racing. Kaboom, says Parker Performance. Absolutely. Ford is shit, says Austin Maynard. We have a 24E 450 cutaway 7.3 van. Needs a PCM update for Ford, and they say we can't get her software to connect. It has been 9 months sitting there. Craig Walls, yeah, but she was running hard before she went pop, Alex. Boost weather. I heard that this and last week 2 or 3 times. Damn, this thing is rolling out. What'd you do? Nothing. It's 25 degrees in your area. Leave the fucking car at home. When I owned my 11 GT, I didn't tune it for a good year or two. I was broke. I didn't have any money. I didn't know anything about tuning. I just had I thought, badass 11 GT. Drove it around stock for like 2 or 3 years. When it was cold in Massachusetts, because it was my only car, did I reach out to somebody when the transmission was clunky when it was cold? No. I thought to myself, makes sense. It's cold out. Fluid's not moving. I'm sure it's going to be clunky until it warms up. And son of a bitch, once the car warmed up, it idled good. It drove good. Transmission shifted good. I didn't sit there and reach out to Ford. Hey, it's 2 degrees at my house right now. Why is my transmission a little clunky? No, I'm not fucking retarded. I go, yeah, must be because of the, the metals are cold and this thing. It would barely start. Under 20 degrees, a stock 2011 GT with a stock Ford tune would barely start. I am absolutely mind blown when I get this in the ticket system. Hey, it's having trouble starting with E85 at 20 degrees. Well, no shit, motherfucker. Put it on pump gas, asshole. Oh, you need a new tuner. Oh, my car didn't start good on 20 degrees stock tune pump gas. But your return style fuel system, no check valve in the bitch, ID1000's E85 tuned car at 20 degrees takes two attempts to start. Put it on pump gas, asshole. You're not racing nobody. But Alex, I get it's only $1.98. Right, but it only lasts you 170 miles per tank. And 93 octane is 289 or 312, and it gets 300 miles a tank. People are fucking retarded. But we got to stay ready. No, you don't got to stay ready in the wintertime. Put it away. Put it away. Drive your daily. Fuck this stuff. 0 degrees Fahrenheit here tonight. Time for 60 to 130s. People can visual this by applying the same logic for vehicles coming over from Denver at sea level. That's why I love living here. Southwest Florida, 50s at most when racing. Took it to the track last Friday. Southwest Florida is where it's at. I like Southwest Florida. Naples, Sarasota, all that shit. Who races below freezing weather? That's dangerous for you and the car. No, dude, people will argue with you. What do you mean? Why don't we race in 30-degree weather? Oh, because it's fucking retarded. There's no grip. What the fuck are you doing? If you're gripping at 30 degrees, your shit make no power. Is there a big pool / group of people who really want to modify brand new SS50s? Oh my God, Juan. Oh my God, Juan. How dare you? How dare you? How dare you? Every Mustang that is brand new gets a tune within 500 miles. And the dumb sons of bitches do the same dumb fucking mods. You want to hear the life of a dumbass Gen 3 owner? Here it is. JLT 120, E85 tune, off-road exhaust. After they're bored of that, they'll go, okay, let me get an ESS kit, which is nothing wrong with that. But it's like, why'd you get a JLT? Why don't you get a PMAS? Well, they don't hear the show. They don't hear the show at all. And if they do hear the show, they go, what's wrong with the JLT 120? Well, nothing if you like actual good driving characteristics. It's fine if you just want to suck in all the air, no problem. But in terms of drivability, idle stability, remember when your car was stock? You know what happens sometimes? I think it's funny. Some people save their stock tune properly, whether it's on an SCT device, RTD, or LRX, or an N-Gage. And they're like, hey, man, I got to take it in for smog. Okay. And then they go, hey, Alex, I noticed something very weird about, the car. I go, what? It drives really good on the stock tune and the stock cold air. I go, really? He goes, yeah, I think it's your tune. Here's a tune for the stock cold air. Oh, my God. It runs amazing. Okay, now go ahead and put your JLT on with the JLT tune. Well, I think it's a JLT tune. No, fuel trims are within 2% everywhere. They're trash, and the MAF curve, doesn't look all that great, but this is what the JLT. You saw the Nick James video when they put curves in front of the fucking mass airflow sensor, how it fucks up airflow. It makes it turbulent. You wanted a red filtered black donkey dick fucking cold air on this shit, and there you go. You got a shitty driving car. And when they actually go back to the stock tune, stock cold air, they go, damn, I remember how nice this car used to drive. Oh. No shit. Guys, please, life of a Gen 3 owner is predictable as fuck. What about the V6? Shut up. V6 Mustang. This guy thinks this channel is about V6. Okay, guys, understand this. When I talk about tuning, I talk about the Coyote. When I talk about racing, I talk about the Coyote. When I talk about good motors, I talk about the Coyote. This is a Coyote-centric channel. You're not going to hear me go, well, guess what, guys? The V6 didn't sell either. And look, the EcoBoost is... We don't talk about gay shit. EcoBoost and V6 shit here. Fuck all that. Low 60s, high 50s here in NorCal. Yeah, but it's a little hot out there too. JLT series runs perfectly on my ass. My ass, I guarantee. I look. What is your name in the ticket system so I can see how the MAF curve looks? We have to mask everything probably. The only reason they have a Whipple tune is because there's no other tune. People would rather get a Bama tune. I am telling you, when people prominent racing companies that back in the Coyote days were relevant, which are not relevant anymore, they've just gone by the wayside, even when they accuse Whipple of having a monopoly on it, and that's the only way. Let's live in a hypothetical universe. Let's say in a hypothetical universe, the 24 Mustang drops, bam, and then ESS, ProCharger, Vortec, and Whipple all have access to the tune. How many people are going to buy ESSs, ProChargers, and Vortex over Whipple? And let's just throw another positive displacement blower on it. Let's say someone like Magnuson, like the Roush blower, the twin inlet deal. Let's say that starts to become, in terms of tuning, available. Let's say all of them come out, level playing field. Do you think Whipple would have as many sales as they? No. ESS would dominate that shit. The only reason I say that is because if the highest by volume tuner is seeing a huge influx of ESS supercharged vehicles come into play, then why do you think, and again, I'm only going by our I guarantee it total, SCT, LRX, N-Gauge, and the HP tuner stuff, I guarantee we have well over 10 to 15,000 customers. Maybe not active. Maybe it's like a rolling average, right? You know, they come and go. They're happy. You know, some you don't hear from ever again. They just get a tune and they're just happy until their car blows up. And then 4 years later, they go, hey, I'm going to go boost it. I'm like, oh, shit, you were just chilling in there. You could probably make the case as to how many cars we have tuned since the beginning of time. And there's probably, 2011. And there's probably 15,000 easily. Easily. Wait, the Zebra Stripe EcoBoost S650 is not cool? Alex, if you think I can get a hairpiece, I can get a wig at Ford. I wouldn't jump the JLT MAV curve in the video. On the BMW, even at the same price, is different target buyer. Here we go. So it isn't, so the issue isn't price. It is the same time, it's really an overall affordability issue. What the fuck are you talking about? The M2 is in the high 60s, low 70s. The high 60s, low 70s car. And they said that car was up in sales in 2024. So, twin turbo, stick shift, or auto, rear wheel drive, straight six, M2, or a untunable only by Whipple Mustang. And you're telling me the Mustang had its worst sales ever, and you're attributing it to price? Then explain the GT350 price. That shit sold. Explain the 2020 GT500 price, $100,000. That shit sold. Come on, man. You guys need to get your, come on, stop it. Stop it. I think Farley's intentionally killing the Mustang. Nah, he's not crazy like that. He knows that 90% of the Mustangs are manipulated by the owner through the aftermarket. He said himself that's the selling feature of the Mustang. Merca Supreme says, hey, Alec, I've been watching for a while and I love your content. Planning on getting my first Mustang soon. Mods in the future, I want a manual, but shit, you've been convincing me to 6Rs. It's going to be a daily. What should I get? Look, if I'm going to daily a Mustang, daily, that means I get up. That is my only car. I drive it to work, drive it back. I want a manual. I want a manual. I want a performance. Okay, 15 to 17. Performance package, Brembo brakes, Eibach lowering kit like a Pro kit, Eibach Pro kit, links, Steeda stop to hop, headers, E85, 18 manifold, PMAS intake. Boom. That is a fucking mint ass car. Dude, dailyable. Nice MagnaFlow Street Series, exactly like my red car. But the red car was an auto. And the only reason I stuck with that car is because the powertrain went onto hush money, the Fairmont, and then I had an NA car sitting around. I'm like, all right, I'll fucks with it. But I wouldn't daily an auto car because it's quite boring. I would daily a manual car. Now, if you're in bumper-to-bumper traffic, you're going to hate that manual car. But I would daily a manual 15 to 17, performance package, Eibach Pro Kit, 18 Manny, PMAS, long tube headers from Ultimate Header, Eibach Pro Kit, links, and Steeda stop the hop kit. That bitch is going to get 100,000 miles. Hey, Alex, my car came with the JLT when I bought it. Is it worth to swap it out for PMAS? If it came with it and it's running good, leave it the fuck alone. 2025 RTR EcoBoost retarded to raise. Any news on Senior adding the 6R rating to the black bean? Woo-wee! You guys are going to be in for, well, maybe not. In terms of what is possible, I think this is going to be very good. So Junior, actually, I asked him if he wanted me to promote it. I know all about it. I know exactly what's happening. I think it's cool because you're going to see a proper transmission in a Gen 3. So Junior posted this the other day, said, if you know, you know. If you know, you know. At Vit Viper, meaning Vit is the guy who literally makes the firmware for Motec. So, if you know, you know. What is this? This is a 6. Look at Grey Goose chilling back there with the fucking the ride height, the G ride height. Look at, god damn it, that bitch sits perfect. I wish I could daily like that, but I'd fuck it up. So the Black Bean, which has a Whipple 3.8, an FFRE motor, a CJ 150 millimeter throttle body, and cold air, is getting Motec'd up with a 6R, motherfucker. So what does that mean? DI delete, Gen 3 architecture, and a 6R. Bro, if this thing works, it is gonna run a fucking bottom eight, like consistently without much of an issue. Now, eventually, because it has a G-Force 9-inch, Senior might say, let's throw a 355 in there, second gear leave, and launch it off the trans brake because it is Motec stuff. Race mode is ghost cam right off the rip because it's Motec stuff. So dipping the toes in the Motec water is very important. Why? We can do vetting on race vehicle stuff because, you know, Lund Racing is dipping into racing, actually. The Grey Goose, I think, is going to stay stock computer for a very long time because it is Gen 2 architecture in the Grey Goose. But the Blue Goose, which is going to be a, you know, let's go threes in the 8th mile and bottom sixes in the quarter mile, that's going to probably be Motec'd up, and it's probably going to be Turbo 400, Dump Valve City, all this shit. So I think they're getting their hands, because it'll be the first one. Think about that. Gen 3 motor, Gen 3 cams, Gen 3 everything. They didn't take a Gen 2 engine harness and made a Gen 3 or Gen 2. Gen 3 cams, Gen 3 electronics on the throttle body, Gen 3 heads, DI delete, 6R. So it will literally be a Gen 3 control system, 6R, Motec'd up. Come on, stop it. Stop it. What about the IS 500 with the V8? Who cares, bro? We talk about luxury cars, man. Let's get out of here. People have been bending over and paying market adjustments, markups on everything for the last few years. Now the Mustang is sitting on the lots at MSRP and not moving, and price is the problem? Nah, says BJ Krafasi. I couldn't have put it better. People have been bending over and paying market adjustment markups on everything for the last few years. Now the Mustang is sitting on the lot at MSRP and not moving. And you guys saying that the price of the problem. Remember when Mustangs from the beginning were getting markups? 100,000. Remember the $100,000 dark horse? Remember the $90,000 dark horse? The 80,000, the 70,000, the oh my god, it's not tunable. The 65, 7, $8,000 dark horse. Somebody paid 100. There is an asshole right now that last year mortgaged his whole shit thinking he's going to become the next Cletus and say, well, I'm going to get famous and I'm going to be the first of nothing. You're going to be the first guy that bought a $100,000 car that can't be tuned. Congratulations, you idiot. You probably still have an $80,000 car note and a brand spanking new same vehicle that they waited a year for. It's $69,000. Good job, dickhead. Good job. But Alex, that's a 6R, not a 6R80. You say the 2650 doesn't hit as hard as the 2300 at 10 PSI 93 because of the pulley size. Is it really that much different? And can you, I wonder why people doubt me when I literally have had all these combos. Okay, so one of the best things that I've experienced through somebody else is the difference in pulley sizes. So Hush Money's motor ended up, what is this? Where is it? Hush Money's motor ended up in a 86 notch, okay? And this 86 notch is gorgeous. He's one of those psychos that rotisserie the bitch, okay? He's one of those psychos. So this car right here had a 3.5 upper and I think 15 or 16% lower, whatever Edelbrock stage 2 shit is. ported blower. So he probably was seeing 13 PSI. And he goes, I mean, it feels good. Right? But then I said, put a 3.0 pulley on it, because the 3.0 pulley went 8.7 at 157 or 153. 157. I think it was over 157. So my hush money went 8.7 at, or 8.7 or 8.5. 8.7, 870, 873, like a 150 something. So then he installed the 3.5 pulley on it. Now it's 15 PSI. Again, 12, 13 PSI. He went, 15, 16 PSI. Bro, this dude is. And I said, how does it feel? He goes, dude, amazing. Dude, I can't believe how much of a difference a 3.0 pulley made on it. I go, exactly. The 2650 at 10 PSI needs a 92 millimeter pulley, whereas a 2300, same pulley configuration, needs a 79 or 82 millimeter pulley to make 10 PSI, because it's a 2300. So bigger pulley, the rotors are turning slower. So you can physically feel how lazy it is. My ticket system is full of guys that were convinced that had a Roush 2.0. They had a Roush Stage 3, like a Gen 2, 2015 to 2017 Mustang, RS3, Roush Stage 3. They come with a 2300 blower. They were like, hey, this thing feels good with a 79 millimeter pulley. They were convinced by companies to get a 2650. But they were also convinced to keep it at 10 PSI, that it's going to be more efficient. IAT, these fucking idiots with the IAT shit. They were like, yeah, better IAT. So the RS3 owner was like, cool, sold his blower, bought a VMP 2650, hits me up and he goes, it fucking feels lazy. I go, I know. I told you it was going to feel lazy. Why'd you get a 2650 on a pump gas car that you're never intending to race? To me, you shouldn't even consider a 2650 unless you're intending on starting at 850 and up rear wheel horsepower. If you're not considering ever making 850 and up rear wheel horsepower, stick to the 2.3, bro. You don't need it. Stop it. Checking in, but I'll listen later. Who would be ignorant not to pay $70,000 for an untunable S650 when you can find a used 2020 GT500 for another $10,000? Forget that. How about a Gen 3 for $32,000? A 2023 Mustang you can buy today, good interest because it's basically a 2-year-old car. You can probably find a unsold 23 Mustang on the lot. And you don't think they're trying to move those fucking units because they're trying to get 24s and 25s in stock? So you can do some real searching, find yourself a 10R80 car if you want to go racing a little bit, and you get an ESS kit, and that bitch is tunable right now. Let's do it. Fuck it. Let's do it, because this is one of the better things that we do here. I'm going to go to cars.com. I'm going to type in 23 Mustang, used Ford. Actually, should I do new? New and used Ford Mustang. And I'm going to make sure it's an automatic, all miles. I'm going to switch it automatic, new or used, automatic, 2023 only, like only 2023. Let's not even do anything else but the year 2023. Price, who cares? Let me see, year. Minimum year 2023. So 2023 right here, and newest 2023. Okay, so remember, new or used. So, okay, whoa, they're not bad. I mean, I don't know if I'm going to pay that much for a used car. $31,000, 40,000 miles though. 2,000 miles, 44,000 bucks. Tunable, premium right now. Right fucking now. $44,000 for a 23 GT premium. 23 Mach 1, 50,000 bucks. This has a 350 intake manifold, 3160 transmission. This is auto or manual? I don't know, doesn't say. 18,000 miles for 36. 34,000 miles for $34,000 for 12,000 miles. Another Mach 1 for 53. You are smoking the good shit. 23 EcoBoost. Get the fuck out of my face. How dare you, EcoBoost? 8 cylinders are nothing. Suck that dick. Look at this. 23 Mach 1, $48,000. The Mach 1 is decent. The Mach 1 is actually pretty decent. 23 GT, 18,000 miles, 36,000 bucks. So you can get into a almost new 23 tunable with a nitrous turbo fuel system today for 45,000 bucks. 39,000 bucks for a 10,000 mile car. Let's do miles. Let's look at mileage and make the mileage really, really low. Any mileage. 10,000 or less. 51,000, 50. These are Mach 1s. This is the nice Mach 1. This is like the Mach 1 of all Mach 1s. Like the really pretty wheels. Oh, no. These are the shit-ass wheels. The fuck out of here. Those wheels are shit. 1,900 miles. 96,000. What is that, a Shelby Super Snake? Get the fuck. Anyway, under 40, generally, under 40, under 5,000 miles can get you into a 23 Mustang today, right here. Used 23 GT, 4,800 miles, 38,000 bucks. Come on. You're telling me you'd rather buy a 24 that can't be tuned versus a 23 that can be tuned right fucking now? Come on. Stop the bullshit. Stop the bullshit. How does data log look when running a PMAS fender well cold air intake past the 8th mile? Past the 8th mile? Do you remember the ducting that routes air to the radiator, better airflow? What? Hold on, what the fuck are you talking about? Do you have to remove the ducting that routes air to the radiator for better airflow? For the radiator? The PMAS fender well intake is in the fender well. Why would you have to remove any ducting from... Even at 50 PSI, the S650, the 2650 feels lazy in my S197. Exactly, Sam50. I think a 2650 shines at like 20 PSI. Bro, that thing feels violent at 20 PSI. Ever seen a 2300 GT350 or are they better suited for a 2650? Honestly, in my opinion, the 350 deserve turbos or an ESS kit because of the high RPM capability that car has. I'll take a smaller, snappier blower over a bigger one any day. I just remember Mach 1 being 10,000 over MSRP during COVID. Mach 1s are still too expensive. Gen 3 Premium is where it's at. Got my Gen 2 PP1 car, a Recaro option, 35,000 miles with a Whipple for a little over 30 a year ago. Why would you buy a 24? Got to get that Cali Special. Brother, the Cali Special is the one to get. Let me go look this shit up. Do we have a Cali Special? Let me see. Is there like a trim, body style? Let me see. Coupe convertible? No. Clean title? Yeah, clean title. No accidents. Let me see if they have a Cali Special. So would that be a GT Premium? Right? Let me look for a Cali Special because that's where the old heads, is there like a keyword? Yeah, California Special. California Special. Oh, hey, nobody. I'm just typing California. California. CS's like Valley 10 speeds. You don't find them. You don't see them anymore. You don't see them anymore. California Special. Nope, no California Special. But premiums, guys, 23 premiums under 40,000 bucks. Under 40,000 bucks. Look at this. What is this? Is this a super snake? Is this a stupid snake? Yep. Look at that. This is the biggest joke on the planet. The Gen 3 super snakes are the biggest robbery. Like you have to be like an absolute butt fucking retard to buy a super snake. It's a fucking GT with a body kit and a Whipple Stage 2 tune. Chrome. I mean, the wheels look great. Look, I'm going to give it to you guys. The car looks fantastic. $100,000 for a GT? What's so super about it if it has a stock GT motor? Get the fuck out of here. People are psychotic. People are absolutely psychotic with these cars. No, thank you. I'll pass on that car. Is the Mach 1 better with a 10-speed or a Tremec? What do you want to do? The Tremec isn't great. The 3160 stock is not great. A built 3160 is decent because it keeps the tight gear ratio 11 through 17 MT82s used to have. Even though it's a 3160, it has a similar gear ratio where fifth is 1-to-1. If you want to go 60 to 130 racing or roll racing, get a 10R. I would do a manual, honestly. If I'm driving it a lot, I do a manual. I'm going with a junkyard pushrod 5.0 and dropping it in a clapped-on 99 V6. Why are you even here? Tunable 23 is sweet, but but it doesn't have the two laptop screens and drift brake, though. Bro. Thoughts on K&N and the Portastock 14 manifold? Xavier, what do you... Xavier, I love you. You're probably new to the game. You want to port a stock manifold, and you're asking about a K&N intake. You understand the air pump has not gotten any more efficient by porting the manifold? Still got stock cams, stock heads, probably revving it to, 7,000. If you want your car to make a difference, you change the intake manifold with an 18. Different runner design, different overall everything, and you want to port that, sure. But porting a stock manifold? Come on, man. Come on, stop it. There are literally 18 to 23 manifolds out there for like $200. Stop it. Shelby has been teasing a new Mustang. It'll probably be another flop Super GT. Exactly, a Super GT. See, every single Shelby car that you see is not special. The last special Shelby Mustang was probably 2020 because, again, 5.2 Predator, DCT, blah, 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 blah. But the last Super Snake that was special was probably in 2014, where you literally got like 1,000 horsepower car from Shelby. A worked up 5.8 with a 4-liter, if I'm not mistaken, Whipple supercharger. It ran on like MS-109. It had a crazy wide body kit. The 2014 Super Snake, in my opinion, was the last car that Shelby made that was above and beyond what you could build. Because nobody was going to take the wide body kit. Nobody was going to take a 2014 GT500. There's a guy here in Florida. He's a fucking dumbass. He fake wide bodied his. He made it. He made a Super Snake. He took a 1314 GT500, put an awful wide body kit on it from Shelby, put the Super Snake badges all over it, and it was like hilariously gross, because once you open the hood and you see the TVS, you're like, okay, it's not a Super Snake, doesn't run on MS-109, it doesn't make 1,000 horsepower. Get out of here. Super Snake before regular Snake, it makes sense. 24 Shelby Super Snake is $163,000. JMC says, based on your channel, I ordered the Gen 3R kit for my Gen 2 and also ordered the Gen 2R head unit to start with. Boy, you got some money. I can't stand the suitcase on the intake. Look, I can't stand the suitcase on the intake. Look, based on your channel, I ordered Gen 3 for my Gen 2 and also ordered the Gen 2R head unit to start with. I can't stand the suitcase on the intake. Look, don't know what he's talking about. Hey, Alex, between an ESS and a Pro Charger, which would you choose for a roll racing on a 17 GT? Dead Cell 302. This is why I say ESS. If you take a really close look at Pro Charger's mounting, now really take a close look. I think Pro Charger has multiple ways of mounting a blower. Some are on the passenger side, some are on, just like Vortec, on the driver's side. Now, if I'm not mistaken, and ESS also drives the supercharger off of the front sheath of the balancer. You look at the harmonic balancer on your vehicle, right? On the crank, on the snout, and it has two ribs. The rear usually drives the air conditioner, right? It has a dedicated belt without a tensioner that you literally have to cut to put on, or to take off and like force a new one on. Or and then the front runs the Pro Charger or the ESS. Based on the bracket design of the ESS and the belt wrap around the tensioner mechanism, or the drive kit, the thing that actually bolts onto the side and actually routes the belt to the ESS, the belt wrap in there keeps, let's just say, less tension on the crank than the way Pro Charger does on the passenger side. Pro Charger has like a long run. There's a tensioner down here, and it pulls down hardcore. And what that does to the crank, it deflects. Like, it moves a little bit this way. So if you were the crank, right? If you're looking at the crank this way and you have to put tension on it by the way Pro Charger mounts the bracket, you can almost put a dial indicator on the fucking crank and you'll see like a little deflection happen. Whereas the ESS, I'm not saying it doesn't do that, but it's less prone. Every Pro Charger that I've seen, and this is based on experience, this is not hearsay, this is not bullshit. Almost every Pro Charger I've seen where they pulley down to make good power has issues at the crank. And they started instituting a crank support because of that. Early Pro Charger systems in 2011 Mustangs, that the Pro Charger was mounted on the driver's side, like an F series or something like that, it literally took the snout right off the car. You hit a rev limiter, you miss a shift or something, it shook, boom. And some Pro Charger systems, like their Stage 2, have an auxiliary pulley, a dedicated auxiliary pulley that bolts onto the front of your balancer, even more exaggerating the axial load on the balancer and putting more pressure on the cranks. Now, I do not like any Pro Charger product. This show does not promote Pro Charger. This show does not co-sign on Pro Charger. I dislike Pro Chargers heavily, and I highly urge anyone that follows my shit to look at an ESS kit as opposed to a Pro Charger. The Pro Charger design And the ProCharger design is just so subpar that I wouldn't even bother looking at it. There are other options like Paxton, Vortec, and ESS, and I'd rather go with those than any ProCharger design ever. Others that promote ProCharger have a relationship with ProCharger. What do you think if the Coyote had the bore and the stroke of a Trinity? I think it would have the same issues a Trinity has. Unless the block has a taller deck where the piston doesn't come out of the bore, because the issue with the Trinity is you can't rev it that high. A Coyote, you can rev really high because it doesn't have a long stroke, and the piston is more stable in the bore because of the deck design. Now, if you wanted to have a taller deck and more stroke, well, you still might be limited in RPM. I would rather have a shorter stroke and a bigger piston. So you can get your cubic inches multiple different ways. But I prefer keep the stroke, bigger piston, and go from there. More meat on the piston. A crank snapper guy saved it meme is classic. I think the BMW buyer is a different target buyer. No, it's not Destroyer. Tell me who does the Mustang cater to? In my system, because remember, let's just say 90,000 Mustangs were built. Half of them are EcoBoost. So there goes 45,000 of them. Half of them are EcoBoost, the ones that matter. The other 45,000, let's say they all sold. I guarantee 70% of new GT buyers tune the car within a year. They get used to it, they drive around, but sure enough, they're going to come across a race one day. They're going to hear a Cam Loped idle tune somewhere. If they're on social media, they're like, this thing's running good. There's E85 in my area. Let me go ahead and upgrade to an E85 tune. The target audience is people that want a blank canvas. Tell me why the BMW went up in sales and the Mustang went down in sales, and then talk to me about target audience. Performance car people are target audience. There's a guy that I follow on Facebook. I think his name is Chris Johnson. I think he's a Houston guy, bald guy, seems super legit, nice guy. Met him, great guy. He was Lund-tuned for a very long time. He had a orange Mustang that had a Whipple, then it got twin turbos, then it went sevens. And then he was like, okay, now this guy had money. What did he build next? An LS swapped Fox body. So he just wants performance. So he built a very nice LS swapped Fox body. And then you know what he got after that? Not a 24 GT, a BMW M2. A BMW M2. He is a performance car enthusiast. Hardcore Mustang guys are gay. Hardcore Mustang guys that join clubs are gay. The reason the Mustang is popular because it was because of the performance. Why do you think most Honda guys merged to Mustang? Why do you think most Nissan guys, like 300ZX guys or whatever, got a Mustang? Every Honda guy I know that has a high-performance K-Series engine would look at the Mustang and go, those are two K-Series engines put together. I like that car. The Mustang converted people to it. Now the BMW is converting Mustang people to it. What attracts people is the performance. Almost every guy, every testimonial I've heard of why did you get the Mustang? Boy, I seen this thing perform and I needed it. The Mustang brought people in from the Jap crowd. I guarantee a lot of guys in the Japanese market were like, bro, that Mustang's moving the fuck out. Why? And they got one, fucks with it. It's the performance that gets... The target audience is not a guy that says Stang. The target audience is the performance car enthusiast, period. I interviewed a ProCharger last week with the sole purpose of trying to tell them to reverse engineer an ESS. They must have seen my anti-ProCharger post that ended up not getting the position. That's kind of funny. The S650 price adjusted for inflation is fine. It's the cost of living that... here we go. You're looking way hard at it. I bought a ZR1. Why did I buy a $60,000 2009 ZR1? Performance. The performance. I wanted a car that was light, had a good size engine, manual, carbon fiber all over the place. Performance. So when the motor blew up, I could have sold it and been out of the car. But I said, well, what am I going to buy that's new? Gives me some hope. Nothing. About CTS or CT5 Blackwing for $100,000 and 4,000 pounds? I'm good. A new Mustang? No, let's coyote swap it. You think that's cheap? It's cheaper than building the LS9, I'll tell you that much. Downpipe tune heroes, absolutely. Downpipe tune heroes are doing fine. Look, make fun of the Mustang owner, make fun of the BMW owner all you want. They're having fun. They're downpiping, they're installing injectors, they're developing parts. Pure Drivetrain Solutions is having a hell of a time selling rebuild kits. Look, now a fully built, let's say you get a transmission, right? You get a transmission built by Pure. You get a converter, I'm sure, by Pure. You get a transmission tuned by your favorite downpipe E50 Hero engine tune. You talk to Cuban Coyote. You talk to Valley 10-Speed. Yo, who's the hot tuner right now? Who's giving you safe shit? Who is the guy you have seen that has been consistently good with tuning? Hit them up. You trust them. The cars can run low nines. What are S650 guys doing? Revving on the key fob. Xavier Rodriguez probably does his own oil changes with used oil. Oh my God. Nowadays, racers aren't biased. Racers are after what's next, the best thing that's modifiable. I think Xavier's a troll, probably. That's true. The vast majority of 24 Mustang I see are EcoBoost. I rarely see 24 GTs. Saludos, gran bichos, says Edgar Sanchez. Leaving a like and catching the replay. FKL. I don't know who that is. And fuck Joe Biden. Absolutely, I agree. I don't know who KL is, though. Screw him, though. Mustang doesn't care to anyone. If an NAV8 and a backseat is what you want, then just get an IS 500. Oh my God, I need to stop. I need to stop reading the rest of that. He mentioned IS 500. The fuck are we talking about? Stop mentioning weird shit. You guys get into these weird arguments, and it's like so simple. It's extremely simple. The car cannot be modified. So people don't buy it. A back seat. No one has ever gotten in a backseat of my S550s. And I've had 3. Even via... Stop. Chuck Stern says, I was a lifelong GM guy. I laughed at 200 to 300 horsepower SN and 4.6s. Coyotes brought me here. You don't think there are guys that are in the LS game right now? You've seen some. Come on, guys. You guys are working in your garage right now, listening to the show, or you're driving to work, or you're driving to you're a truck driver. You know there's an LS guy out there that has had his Camaro, G8, SS, whatever, forever. And it took him a 416 or whatever the fuck, LSX or aftermarket stroked motor, 427, 450 something, heads, cam, Edelbrock intake, high ram, low ram, dick ram, shit ram, whatever, 2-inch headers, E85, flex tuning, all this bullshit. And maybe 10 PSI and the car, 12 PSI, and the car makes 850 rear wheel horsepower. And he's like, yeah. And the thing sucks to drive. And it's like, sounds cool, awful to drive. Then you, listening to the show, or you've been watching the forums, you decide to get yourself a nice Mach 1. And you get an ESS kit, FIC 1000Hs, BAP, like peasantry shit, peasant shit, poor guy, homeless, the homeless poverty car build. ESS, FICs, BAP, no IMRCs, throwing shit at all you guys. And you race. And you beat him by 2 cars with your 10R80 Mach 1. And he's like, are you kidding me? My LS 416, 800 horsepower, fucking stroker, that car stuck with a blower, octane booster, and 10 or 11 PSI. Yeah, I fucking gapped the shit out of you. Oh, by the way, it idles smooth as shit and gets 28 miles a gallon on the highway. I guarantee that guy went home and had an identity crisis. He goes, am I a Chevy guy or am I a performance car guy? What am I? Let me look myself in the mirror. What am I? Do I want to go fast in cars? Or do I want to go fast in Chevys only? And then you have to decide. I want to go fast. Now what's happening? Do I want to go fast in a Mustang only? and 2024s aren't tunable? Or do I want to go fast regardless of the platform? And you start looking at the downpipe heroes. Or you start looking at the tunable Chevys, which is ridiculous because they're starting at $100,000. So are you a performance car fan or are you a Mustang fan? I love Mustangs. I own 2 GM vehicles. I'm not stupid. GT350s when they first hit, showrooms were selling for $90,000. Yeah, but the APR, but the inflation, but the shut the fuck up. Look, you guys need to be brought back in time. G50 commercial. Is this it? Is this it? Let me see. No, that's not it. That is it. Yeah, okay. This is a minute and a half of Carroll Shelby. This is how Ford, the first time the Ford Shelby GT350 was introduced.
My name's Carroll Shelby, and performance is my business.
What better way to live up to his legacy by us doing that Shelby GT350 through Ford?
Very modern new Mustang taken to a whole nother level. And the noise they make, it's just delicious.
This is by far the most ambitious powertrain program we've ever done.
This car is going to be phenomenal.
Really has been designed and not styled.
This team's developed a fantastic vehicle.
I can't believe that accent came out of that guy. I was told that. This team developed a fantastic vehicle. So that's the cartoon version, right? But then you saw the actual commercial, the launch video. Oh, I was there. I remember Barry's. I remember this commercial. And I was like, what is this? You know what? That's not the commercial I want. There was a 350R commercial that was just, there it is. Oh, yeah. Oh, my Lord. Yep, that shit sold. That shit sold like hotcakes. Motherfuckers are like, I need it. I need it right now. 520 horsepower, 8,200 RPM, stock rev limiter. Yeah, I'm in. Oh, no, but the APR, but get the fuck out of here, bro. Those things sold like hotcakes, bro. It wasn't even funny. I'm looking for more Ford performance videos because I remember when they introduced the 15 GT. Oh, my Lord. When they introduced it drag racing, I said, that's how you introduce a car. None of this bullshit with the dark horse, 500 horsepower. I mean, 500 horsepower, the dark horse is the replacement for the 350, and it makes less horsepower. That's all you got to know, man. That's all you got to know. Delicious is the best you could do. Exactly. Carroll Shelby looks like he washed his hair with a bar of soap. Hey, leave Carroll Shelby alone, man. Some said, how come you never bring up AMG? AMG, shut the fuck up, bro. This channel is not retarded. That's why I don't bring up Lexuses. BMWs are at the similar price range. The M2. I'm not talking M4, M5, M3. I'm talking the fucking M2. Oh, does it have a back seat? Bro, do you think... There is a video, if I'm not mistaken, CarWow M2 versus 24 GT. You want to see what I'm talking about? New Mustang V8 versus M2 drag race.
And it goes up and around, and you click it again to make.
Here you go. You want to enjoy?
The BMW M2 has a 3-litre twin-turbo straight six that puts out 480 horsepower and 600 newton-meters of torque. It sends power to the rear wheels via an 8-speed automatic gearbox, and the car weighs 1,805 kilograms.
Oh, okay. So what the fuck? Okay, 1,805 kilograms. 1,805 kilograms to pounds. 3,900 pounds. 3,900 pounds. Let's look at the video. Let's go. Sorry, my face was on the whole time. Here we go. So this is a 4,000 pound car.
The M2 costs from £63,000. The Ford Mustang has a 5-litre naturally aspirated V8, which normally in the UK puts out 453 horsepower and 540 newton-meters of torque. But this American spec car actually has 486 horsepower and 567 newton-meters of torque.
That is the most apples to apples comparison you could do.
Sending power to the rear wheels. The car weighs in at 1.7 tons.
It is lighter. Rear wheel drive. Lighter, same power than an M2. Oh my lord.
You would pay around $45,000 for this Mustang, which translates to £35,000. But in the UK, the Mustang actually costs £56,000.
This is so apples to apples, it's not even funny.
Right, and Sam. So we've basically got.
Skipping. Let's see. No, you're right. That's my dream.
See, Sam, that
Party getting the. Listen to that. That is the. I'm in dry.
I'm getting a lot of noise in the is review drag race because I've got auto sun on us.
No, that's good.
This car
It's not
handbrake.
Oh my god, they don't shut the fuck up.
killed him off the line. He's even racing.
Listen to that 10R80 doing 10R80 things, and he tries it again. He gives them yet another race.
3, 2, 1.
Oh. I had a worse start then, but it doesn't matter.
Hey, he wins that race, so they try again. They try to do as much as possible to make this Mustang decent, even a rolling start.
So lame.
3, 2, 1.
This went sideways a bit. Oh, it's closer. That's better. It's got the hang of it now. Woohoo! Oh, that is good. Oh, yes.
So, heavier, rear-wheel drive, similar power, tunable, beats the ever-living shit out of a lighter, similar-powered rear-wheel drive Mustang. I wonder why the Mustang doesn't sell. And a downpipe E50. Fuck out of here. Get fuck out of here with this bullshit. Just stupid. If it's Luntune, then that's where you sit. I would have guessed 8K, but that's smarter than me. Oh, what's happening? Zeke, who's your tuner? I don't know what's happening. Zeke Villa, Grant Wilbur, tuner has me capped at 7,500, so I sent an email. Just want more opinions on it because I feel like it can make good power at 8K. You can't make more power at 8K unless the car has cams. The car literally starts to roll off in horsepower after 7,300 RPM stock cam. Mustang prices kept pace with inflation. Most American salaries did not. Here we go with the fucking price bullshit. This car is not meant for people making $35,000 a year. If you make $35,000 a year, you get an Altima, you get a Sentra, you get a Corolla, you get a fucking Accord, you get a piece of shit. Don't even look at a Mustang. So stop saying that because the Americans don't make... These cars have always been for... These have been toys. These cars have always been toys. You think this is like a commuter car? Come on, man. Quit this bullshit. Stupid. Those cars reviewers can't drive. I beat an M4 in mine and it's a stick. No. I guarantee an M4. No, I guarantee you didn't. I bet you was even racing. Great, I agree. I feel the same way. Just figured I could. Okay, whatever. And we say bye-bye to all them sales for the S650. Why do car reviewers use the paddles? Because they're stupid. They're stupid. They're stupid. They're stupid. But it doesn't matter. He tried multiple ways of doing it, and the car would not run any better. Last race is the best. Yeah, and it still loses. tunable car. Hello. And Emery will watch replay later. Not saying that the Mustang is good, but it would have been better if he didn't use the paddles. No, it would not have been better, douche Don. A stock-tuned Mustang. Stock-tuned Mustang. If you can hit the shift points with the paddle, it's fine. In drive, there are less torque reduction changes. In sport or race, whatever he had it on, he probably had a little less torque reduction in sport mode, which allowed him to paddle shift. With the stock tune. When Lund tunes your car, drive is the best position to race in. Stage 3 comp cams, and what do we call it? What intake manifold? Stock intake manifold or CJ? Yeah, my kid brother and his friends, 23, 26, talking about one of them downpipe Supra at one. He's talking about getting BMW M5. I think he just wants kids, wants that, whatever. That's the race when the 5.0 was shifted manually, bugged out, and tires had 48 PSI in them. You can see it at some point at the dash. Iron Bull, you got to understand, do you think they went out of their way to make the car shitty? Or is the car shitty? Do you think Car Wow was like, you know what? Let's make the car extra shitty. And let's give them a better spec'd out M2. No, they got a heavier M2, rear-wheel drive M2, auto M2 versus a rear-wheel drive auto Mustang. What the fuck do you want? Well, if you had drag radials, then that's a skewed race. The car is stock. Come on, you guys are trying to make excuses for this fucking car. Stop the dick riding, guys. The 24 Mustang is shit. Stop. Weird people here. Damn, this is the peasant chat. They're defending a 24 Mustang versus an M2, which all of us know is better. Twin turbo inline 6 M2 versus a heavier M2 versus a lighter rear-wheel drive Mustang with a 10R80. Shit, that's so easy. My money's always on the M2. Stop it. They must have clipped the weird part of Carol Shelby's life with the audio. It just didn't sound like the usual him. I know what you're trying to do. That guy from the 350 video, you didn't expect that accent out, used to be the CEO of Ford before Farley. What happened? Who used to be the CEO? Who used to be the CEO of Ford? Alan Mullally and Mark Fields. Okay, list of Ford CEO. Look, it knows what. Wow, that's weird how it knows. Ford CEO history from Henry Ford. List of leaders of Ford Motor Company. Images. Excuse me. Yeah, I don't see any Indian guy here, man. I see a woman. That was a mistake. That was a woman? No way. No way she was. No way. Come on. List of Ford CEOs from the past. Past. I don't see an Indian guy anywhere here. Like straight up white guys. Yeah, no, I don't think he was CEO. He might have been like CFO or Chief Technology Officer because he's Indian. Aldo kit or Hellion kit. Depends on what you want to do. This chat is really making me want an M2 now. I'm telling you. Oh my God, S650 has a Fox dash? Take my firstborn child, says Full Prism. 24 got its own cult like the OPG cult or the 10R cult. You're not wrong. You know what? We might have stumbled across a 24 Mustang cult. The 24 Mustang is the worst selling Mustang and the worst performing modern Mustang. I would much rather take a 2018 10R car than a 2024. And that's why I was negative on it. And you guys got mad at me. Like a lot of people got mad at me. They're like, how dare you talk negatively about Mustang? I'm not a fanboy. I could see this car was not an upgrade over 2023. And I was right. And I'm fucking taking a victory lap. I'm going to take a victory lap all fucking year until it becomes tunable. Jim probably doesn't even care about his fake hair. What makes you think he'd care about the average Ford Mustang? Peasant Chat on Patreon last night had me cracking up. Peasant Chat last night on Patreon was, wow. If you're a free Patreon member, you have access to one chat. That one chat has surpassed all other chats. And it is no holds barred. You can't go in there with a light, you can't go in there getting easily offended. It is a no holds barred peasant chat. It is wild as fuck. I would trade my 19 for a 17. Chief Technical Support Officer. Hello, this is Ford. How can I help you? My 24 GT sucks. Oh, get the Whipple tune. No, I don't want to. Curry 80. Street car here, 15 manual, 331 gears. What power adder would you do? TVS all day, every day. A VMP or Roush 2.3 TVS all day, every day on pump gas. It'll be great. You'll love it. The ones championing the 24s are the ones who dropped $65,000 for a turd. We're done making boring cars. The M2 beat the cars so bad that I thought it was fake. And I saw the whole thing, and they gave it multiple opportunities. Do you get multiple opportunities to race motherfuckers on the road? Huh? When you're out there cruising, do you get multiple? No. You do 1 or 2 runs, and then you dip, unless you're lucky enough to line up with a person that isn't a fucking homo, and you can do back to back to back to back rolls, and then you just say peace, nice race, and you dip out. But that never happens anymore. That was 1995, 2005. Now it's like, there's the phone, there's the Instagram tag, I beat him, tag him, beat your boy, check it out, forget it. How late were we up, Bryson? 1 a.m. Bullying is allowed in the chat? Oh, bullying is very much allowed in that chat. It's no holds barred. Dead Cell says, more than when you were making fun of the chicks on TV who were mechanics. That episode was funny. BMW M2 I choose any day over 24 Mustang because I can make it my own. Man, that alarm came on so fast. And I had to get up at 4. Checking in late, Theo. Happy Tuesday. B58 S58 is better than the Gen 4 Coyote. Boy, this could be. Remember when Coyote became king? Now people are swapping it in everything. That Leasey, whatever cars are, they're swapping it into a Ferrari. They're wild. I'm swapping it into a ZR1 because I'm not stupid. So the Coyote is like very swap friendly right now. But there was a time where this thing was just gapping everything on the street, and you were like, wait a minute. This shit's keeping up with GTRs? You know, mildly built GTRs, not the Billy Badass stuff. Yeah, I can get into a Hellion twin turbo Mustang 10R ID 1700s return style fuel system and run like a 4.6, 4.7, 60 to 130? Yes. And then people started going, I got to get into this. The modern BMWs are starting to become that. Maybe not because of the performance, but because Ford is not supporting the aftermarket. If the 24 was tunable and it had better rods, better pistons, better programming, better valve body programming on the 10R, and it actually had clamping power, and give credit where credit is due. Whipple is running 8s with some of them, which is psychotic that it has 55-pound injectors. AFR 0.84 down the back. That's crazy. But whatever. It runs 8s. So if the aftermarket had actual hands on this Mustang, you wouldn't be talking that much about BMWs, because now the car that is not tunable is allowing. Ford is so short-sighted. They go, well, we have the only V8 rear-wheel drive in the market that has a back seat. Do you think people go out there and go, you know what I want? I want a V8 rear-wheel drive car with a back seat. No. I want a fast coupe. That's it. What's the fast coupe out there? Well, you can't tune the Mustang unless you put a Whipple on it, but you can get a downpipe with an M2, and I will get that. Stop it. That race would have been different with tuning, but of course we don't have that. But the Gen 4 is barely better than the Gen 3. You know, man, if I had disposable income, I'd find some old beat up runway somewhere, rent it out or whatever, and I'd just go in on the 24 Mustang by racing previous generation Mustangs against it. Stock for stock. And then we start modding and we'll see what's up. Oh, come on. Stop. It's not even close. BMW dealer near me has 25 M2 in green for $75K. I know what my next car is. I don't know. I don't know how to configure a BMW for me, because like the BMW is starting to become a little, you know, so you got to be careful, because if you start buying BMWs and start stunting on them, you know, all of a sudden shit can start going missing like the Hellcat stuff did. So you got to be careful. But I understand, I appreciate, and I support tunable platforms. So C8 can be tuned today. E-Ray can be tuned. E-Rays, they got fucking twin turbos in E-Rays already. Listen to this, okay, people? The brand new E-Ray all-wheel drive hybrid car already has twin turbos on it, courtesy of Boost District. And other people like Sissio Performance, they have twin turbo shit out there. And the 24 Mustang has a Whipple. fuck me. I would get a Magnuson equipped. This would be if I was to get an E-Ray and semi-daily, keep it about an 850 so it's not stressing out the fuel system. I'm sure it's gonna need fuel system. I would get, oh no, 850 is not bad because it really needs 600 wheel from the motor, and then you got the other 200 from the electric motor. There's your 800. That is your low 10, high 9-second E-Ray. Oh, come on, man. Get out of here. Get out of here. What's the B stand for in BMW? Bavarian? Motorworks? Chirp. Alex, if you had the option between a BMW M car or a Hellcat, theft smoke detector sound was not a factor. Would you prefer? Just curious. Okay, what is the case use for that car? Henry and KC. What am I doing with this car? The Hellcat is desirable because the motor is fucking badass. You understand that now Kong makes a 2650 upgrade for the Hellcat. I think the stock blower is awesome, but Kong now makes a 2650 for the Hellcat. Interesting how not a lot of people are putting Whipples in them shits. Isn't it interesting how for whatever reason the brothers did not gravitate to Whipple? They kept the stock blower on it. They ported it. They sent it to Kong. Kong's like, you know what? I can make a case out of this shit. The brothers are going to love this thing. 2650 makes horsepower all the fucking way to the top. You're going to start seeing 1100 rear wheel horsepower, stock, sealed, maybe a cam, who knows. Hellcat motors out there. So if the case use is a badass car that I can drive, probably a Hellcat. Wide body, red eye. I'd get a wide body red eye in black or white. Wide body, red eye, black or white Challenger. All day. Not a BMW. Because the motor is badass. You can make stupid power with a stock Hellcat motor. Stop it. 2020 B58 is the best year generation. Still a 6-port ahead. Before 2020, 2-port cylinder head, and 2021 ECU is encrypted, but they did figure out how to way around it. Serbia, Bryson, I feel like the Supra would be good buy if you want a BMW, want to avoid the R chirp chirp. Whoa, have you said that in this? Have you sat in the Supra? Case use is smashing the back. Pretty sure it's a Bolivian motor. It's joking. Hellcat, if it's not in a Dodge, I get it. Yes, I worked at Toyota for a little. I smashed the back of my head getting in one. I hate the car, but I've seen a few fast one. Same regular work, wanted to try a Mustang, and I wanted to try a Supra. I'm a small dude and felt like a sardine. Hellcat Jandro has nice ring to it. Hellcat Hondro has a nice ring to it. Looking like a school, but 1900 Rugrat. Hellcat, do the dash. Can I order yellow splitter guard protectors for the M2? Not Theo driving the silver and red Hellcat. Bro. So the trinity of all trinities is GT500 Z01 Viper. But a Hellcat wouldn't be that bad. I just can't get around the fact that they get stolen. So guys, they will chase you down and they'll kill you for it. Okay. All right. I'm not stupid. I'm in Florida. Right. There's some wild motherfuckers here. If you have the nuts to drive around in a Hellcat anything, you better be blicked up like none other. And they're comfy as can be. Yes, the Hellcats are very big, comfy couches. They're awesome. Boosted Lucky is making 2,000. There you go. That's a lie. Only 2-port is 2020 Supra. Okay, I'm 6 foot and I feel comfy in the M Mark V. I wanted a SRT Alex 69. That's going to be my new handle on Instagram. All right, guys. So we're going to end it there. We talked about the BMW record car sales correlating with the record low sales of the 24 Mustang. We showed you CarWow raised a M2 versus a 24 Mustang and gapped the ever-living shit out of it. And then we also talked about why cars blow up in the wintertime. Too much of a good thing, right? If you don't have enough fuel system and you have too much of a good thing, too much air coming into the car, too much great, cool, dense air, and you only have a booster pump, MU52s or LU47s in your car, and you decide to do a 60 to 130, expect your fuel pressure to be in the 20s, expect no fuel in the piston, and expect problems if you're going to go racing under boost weather conditions. Okay, so be careful out there. And yeah, look, we've looked around at Hellcats. We talked about Hellcat stuff before. I've always thought that I could do Hellcat. I could do right by the Hellcat. But the people that fucks with the Hellcat stuff a little on the goofy side. I love DBR. I think they do it the right way. So if I was to do that, I'd probably hit up DBR or Dusterhoff Tuning, which the Lunds have a relationship with him, and that's something I would definitely look into, and that's what we wrapped up the show with. All right, guys, I'm out of here. I'll see you guys on Thursday for YDBT Daily. We'll hang out there, talk a little bit shit there, and see what happens. Maybe the 6R Gen 3 is running by then. We'll see what happens. Have a good rest of your night. Thank you, the 500 of you that tuned in tonight. If you guys are going to go on the Peasant Chat tonight on Patreon, be careful. There's a lot of shit going on out there, but it's a fun chat if you decide to become a free member. That chat is available to you. If you pay $15 a month, all the other chats are available to you and direct access to me. Have a good one. See you guys later. Bye.